Colts at Chiefs. Chiefs 3.5-point favorites. Vegas can't quit them. 49.5 points is the over-under. And we are in what I would call must-win territory for this Kansas City Chiefs team. It's panic button time. You are 5 and freaking 5. If they go below 500 at this point in the season, this would be unheard of territory for the Patrick Mahomes-led Kansas City Chiefs.
We're entering crisis mode for this team, and not only on the defensive side of the ball, but I think on the offensive side of the ball as well. I was going back and watching the game against the Broncos, and I was just so startled at how stale and how lifeless this Chiefs team feels. And I guess my biggest take for them, and I tweeted it out the other day, the Chiefs should be under center more often. They should use that under center ability that they have. So when I went and looked it up, on using under center runs, because against the Broncos, they would rip off 5-7 yard gains on the ground and then never do it again. The Chiefs, when under center running the ball this season, they are second in EPA per play, third in success rate, 10th in yards per carry, and they're 28th in attempts. Like, they had this ability to lean into that, but it feels like they have caught themselves hanging on to the world of the RPO, where every run gets tagged with a bubble. So in case Patrick Mahomes just doesn't like what he's seeing, he'll just throw it out as a bubble and be like, we couldn't run the ball into that front. But the problem is everybody knows how to defend RPOs now, and there's only so many of those you can do while living in a gun world without a quarterback. And although Patrick Mahomes can run, he is not getting 15 carries a game in designed run situations. That's not how the Chiefs want him to play. So it's really hard to live in a sustainable offensive world while only using RPOs as your easy offense. And it feels like they're learning that the hard way. It feels like this Chiefs receiver group is pretty awful. Like right now, they're not very good, especially against man coverage. They need designed routes. And what the hope was that Rashee Rice coming back would help give them a guy who can just go win against man coverage. But this season, they're 27th in yards per route run versus man. It's also the lowest mark of the Mahomes era in yards per route run against man coverage. So I'm very curious how they match up against this Colts defense who's changed a lot of their stripes since the Sauce Gardner trade.
Yeah, the Rashee Rice usage is almost comical to me. They've turned him into just their running back. He is an extension. They just throw him stick route, all this just gross offense that I thought him coming back, yes, he would do some of that. But I thought it would give them a more complete receiver. But they haven't used him down the football field whatsoever in that offense. And it's like, yeah, you have some specialists like Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy aren't going to do things that Rashee Rice can do. But at least Xavier Worthy should be a little bit more interchangeable, at least can run some other routes besides just down the football field. And it just doesn't seem like it seemed like they're pigeonholing their guys on the outside a little bit too much at this point.
It feels like you said, they have a whole bunch of guys who do one skill specifically well. But even the guys that are multifaceted, like Rashee Rice, like Xavier Worthy can be, they're also shoehorning them into doing one thing really well, which is all the RPOs, the stick routes, the quick stuff, and living and dying with the quick game. And I wonder if part of that is because they don't trust their offensive line. But if you don't trust your offensive line, you spent a first-round pick on Josh Simmons. You paid a lot of money to Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. You paid a lot of money to Jalen Moore. Find a combination. Find something that works. If Jawan Taylor isn't playing well, don't play him. Because at this point, you have zero margin for error. And you're going up against a team in the Colts who right now are a top 3 seed in the AFC at this point. So if you want to make the playoffs, you got to start making changes. And I feel like this Chiefs team, and this is not me calling for Andy Reid's job. I don't think that's going to happen at all. But I think they need new ideas in that offense. Everybody who comes through the Chiefs ecosystem, they're always guys who used to work for the Chiefs. Like Matt Nagy came back. You're not getting new ideas in there. You're just getting the same guy who used to work there a few years ago. There have been rumors about Doug Peterson going back. And it's like, you're not doing anything original. Like, if we're comparing it to the Rams, Mike LaFleur, Sean McVay needed Mike LaFleur after Mike LaFleur left the Jets. He needed someone outside of his ecosystem to help change his offense. You needed guys from around the league and know what is going on with modern offense. And I'm not saying the Chiefs' offense isn't modern, but they need to change their stripes. And I don't think they have anybody in that room right now who knows anything outside of the Andy Reid offense.
Yeah, for all those reasons we've outlined, I kind of like the Colts in this. 3.5's a lot against a very good football team. I just go back to the differences of the ground game between these two teams. The Colts are dominant in the running game, and not only just being efficient, but also explosive. They have the second highest rate of explosive runs on running back carries this season. Chiefs, on the other hand, are bottom 10. I just can't believe they didn't make a move for a running back at the deadline, given Kareem Hunt is the least explosive back in the NFL right now. It shows week in and week out. They get him to the second level. That's it. It's the offense is, like you said, it just feels stale. And the Colts do not. The Colts feel like they can get you any which way. And yeah, I trust the Colts a lot more than the Chiefs right now.
Yeah, I actually like the Colts in this game. I think that with Charvarius Ward coming back from a concussion, even when Sauce Gardner came back against the Falcons, they played man coverage 43.5% of the time. That's the highest this season under Lou Anarumo. They also blitzed 35.5% of the time, second highest under Lou Anarumo. They are changing their stripes. They are going to be more of a man coverage in your face team. That is the Sauce Gardner effect. So if the Chiefs are probably going to win this game, they're going to have to get a Spags masterclass. And can you do that with a pass rush that's sort of non-existent? And I don't know if they can.
Yeah, what we've seen recently, how to get to Daniel Jones or how to slow down the offense is to get to Daniel Jones outside of Chris Jones, who's doing it. Who's, maybe Karlaftis against Braden Smith, maybe, but I don't know if that's even the type of OT he succeeds against. So we shall see.